And speaking of the U.S. monitoring Mexican soil, let's get into this oh-so-viral watch list that we have been seeing everywhere and that I've been talking about for quite a while now, because I was hearing rumors and some sources were telling me within the U.S. government that there is this private watch list that the U.S. has curated to monitor politicians in Mexico that have potential narco ties, corruption, really anything that deprives them of a clean public image. Anything that could lead to a sense of, hey, this person could be on someone's payroll, this person is taking action based on what they're being told to do, anything like that. And so I published a list of names, and the top of my list, one of those names was the governor of Baja California. Marina del Pilar Ávila Olmeda is the current governor of Baja California, obviously a northern state that borders with the US. And I had been hearing rumors that there was something with money laundering, corruption, taking some payments from rather shady sources. And I was really sure about this individual. So I published it. A month later, the US revoked her visa and her husband's visa, tourist visas to the US, meaning they are no longer allowed to enter the United States. This really kind of opened the floodgates for not only the rest of the names I had on my list, but for a lot of Mexican politicians who were probably fearing some sort of, I want to call it retaliation, but it's not retaliation, some sort of action against them from the United States, especially if they had been doing shady dealings or there was a sense of that in the public perception. Like, even if they weren't in it too deep, anything that could throw off the US and lead officials to believe that, hey, this individual who holds a lot of power in Mexico may be in fact not as clean as they say they are. They could face their visa being revoked, assets being seized, really anything, denied entry into the US if it meant that there was something they were doing that could lead the US to believe that they are aiding a foreign terrorist organization or profiting off of it. And so when Marina's name came out, when she confirmed herself that her US tourist visa had been revoked, people started to wonder who else is on this list. Now, the other names I've had on my list are Rubén Rocha Moya, the governor of Sinaloa. When I was there in October, I had a really quick interview with him. It was during a media scrum. So it was just really, hey, I've got this question. Can you answer it for me? And I asked about how he expects to maintain free press in a state where journalists are constantly being targeted. Now, it's not obviously just journalists. So many innocent people, and of course, people who are searching for missing people who are against the narcos, speaking out against the corruption in that state, speaking out against cartel violence in that state, really anything. If you're not sitting under the radar, they were being targeted by these very people wreaking havoc in a state that once had such a vibrant culture, honestly. And so when I came face to face with Rubén Rocha Moya, who I also included on my list of people I believe that the U.S. is monitoring, and this isn't, I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I have the sources and I gather the information and I do the work. It really goes to show that there are so many individuals who are deeply embedded with the Mexican government, who are high-ranking officials that are not doing their jobs. Because at the end of the day, what are these people supposed to do? And, I've been seeing a lot of this rhetoric of, well, why are we focusing on the politicians when there are so many violent criminals at large that the U.S. should be targeting? Why? Because these are the very people that are supposed to protect society. They're supposed to be honest. They're supposed to give people a quality of life. They're the ones writing policy that affects people's daily lives. So of course we're going to focus on them. It is a complete breach of trust and a breach of integrity. I mean, I'll give a great example. It's like, okay? It's horrible, no matter who does it. But when you hear the stories of the priests engaging in pedophilia, it takes it to a next level because it is an absolute breach of trust. It is an absolute violation. So when you're hearing that the governor of a state who has seen extreme levels of violence, not just since the infighting began, not since El Mayo's abduction, but for decades, since the war on drugs began in the first place, since the Guadalajara cartel kind of fragmented and Sinaloa became a hotspot, you're telling me that this person in charge of maintaining a free society, a safe society, is profiting off of the very groups that are terrorizing the people he's meant to protect? That's absolutely insane. And like I said, it is a complete violation. So yeah, I'm going to name him, and I'm going to keep naming all of the people that I believe and that I'm told are breaching their due diligence to keep people safe.